Hello, Kitchen Science. Welcome back. I apologize, it's been a while since I've been here, but today I thought I would do a fun video. The first video we went through was all about buying knives. Well, I've gone ahead and done that exact same thing. I bought a knife. And the best part about this knife, it's in this box right here. Just want to show you something really interesting. Knife Merchant Inc., San Diego, California. This is a company I've talked about before in my other videos. They do a great job with service and with inventory, and their prices are fantastic. So the knife that I'm going to be showing you here today, I only paid $125 for. If I was to buy this knife at other websites, I'd probably pay closer to $150 to $160. So this is a great deal. It's also a knife that a lot of chefs know about. A lot of high-end chefs know about, but it's a Japanese knife, similar to a lot of the other ones I've showed you. And we're going to do a quick unboxing here, and I'm going to show you exactly what the benefits of owning this knife are. And then on my homemade cutting board here, we're going to go ahead and brunoise this tomato so that you can get an even better idea of how well this knife's going to work. All right, so here we go. They definitely do a good job packaging this, because I had a heck of a time getting this thing open. Alright, we've got some papers here. So we've got here, so I'll give you guys a sneak peek as to what we're looking at today. You ready? That's right, Masahiro virgin carbon, 9.5-inch Gyuto. Okay, this is a fantastically wonderful knife, and the best thing about it is it's carbon, which means it's going to need a lot of care. Big thing with carbon knives, as they cut through products like tomatoes, they tend to go ahead and discolor from the acid that is involved. Look at that. Wow. Isn't that fantastic? 100% made in Japan. This is great stuff right here. So let's open up the box. I'm very excited. Very, 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 very excited. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Very, very sharp. Look, there's even a little bit of metallic dust left on it from the sharpening. But this is a fantastic knife. It's got phenomenal balance. Look at that. I know that we talked about that in other videos before, but this is one of the best things about it. Look, I'm shaking it. That's how good the balance is. This is where your fingers go. This is how you choke up. I mean, this is a 9.5-inch blade. It shouldn't be doing this, but it is, because it is that good of a knife. Let's see what else comes in here. Anything else? Got some decent packaging. Got a sheath for it. Got a secondary sheath for it. And in case you want to know how to go ahead and take care of your knife, there you guys go. Can you read that? I cannot. I'm going to translate that to English so that it actually tells me all about this great blade. All right, so another fun thing that these blades are good at. Now, this is not something I recommend that you do a lot, but if you want to see exactly how sharp something is, you do the paper test. Now, it's not the greatest thing to do for your blade, but you can see exactly how sharp. Look, I'll double it up. Exactly how sharp this blade is. Sorry, I didn't hold it right. Isn't that crazy? It's nuts. That is how sharp this blade is when it comes from the factory. Very, very sharp compared to a lot of others. And because it's carbon steel, remember, this is that softer steel. This isn't going to last a really long time. This is gonna, I think the HRC on this is sitting somewhere right around 62.5 to 63. I will double check and put it down in the comment section, but it's really easy to sharpen this knife. A couple of passes on a whetstone and you're pretty much done with using it. But just look how gorgeous that is. Such a pretty, beautiful knife. The handle is ridiculously comfortable and very, very ergonomic. I've used lots of these in the past, but I haven't had a carbon one. I've used them before, but I've never owned one. So I'm really, really excited to go ahead and try this guy out. All right, now I know I said I was gonna cut the tomato. I can't take away that pretty shine right now. I am gonna talk to you about what it means to treat these blades so that they don't patina. It's actually the technical term. The blade itself will react from a low pH and it'll turn green and it'll turn purple. Sometimes it turns brown. So I don't really want that to go ahead and happen yet, but I definitely want to go ahead and use the blade. So what we're gonna do, oh my God, it's literally like cutting through warm butter. It's fantastic. I'm gonna make my flat spot here with my knife. If I can get you a better image here. Oh my God, this blade is fantastic. Now, it's what you call a 9-to-1, which means when it's sharpened like so, it means it's sharpened 9 times on this side and 1 time on this side. Okay, it's also called a right-hand blade. You can kind of see it there. Right now, when I flip it over, you can see that there's barely really a blade there. So that's a big difference between these knives. Lots on that side, not a lot on this side. So it's physically designed for a right-handed person. So let's go ahead and do a little chopping. Now I'm going to invert you guys so that you can see a little bit better, and then I'll start chopping a little bit more. Okay, so here's my planks. That's what I call them when they're about 1/8 of an inch thick, 1/4 of an inch thick, right? So I'm going to take my blade. Look, you don't even need to roll all the way through. With these types of knives, you just go up and down. They really are that sharp. Remember from our knife video, I was talking about how some blades are really good at cutting small and other ones are not. This is one of those blades that is fantastic about cutting items really, 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 really small. So look at that. There's our brunoise. Perfect as it can be. Let's do it again. You take your blade, you make these 1/8 inch little strips. See, look at that. Isn't that great? You put it down. You then take the back of the blade, if you remember, and then you make little 1/8 inch dices, and you just keep going. And don't forget about our claw. You'll notice I have it right in here. I think my wife's gonna get a kick out of this blade. Now, as you all know, Father's Day is coming up. This was actually a Father's Day present for me, but when I saw it come in, I asked my wife, hey, can I open this up? I'd really like to go ahead and try it out. She, of course, said yes, being the great wife that she is. And now I get to go ahead and have a snack. Julienne, well, almost Julienne, they're a little long, and brunoise carrots, which is about 1/8 of an inch by 1/8 of an inch, which is clearly what we've got going on in here. Anyways, let me go ahead and set up next, and I'll tell you how to go ahead and keep this blade nice and shiny. All right, so our carrots are cleaned up. My dog is happily eating them, and now we need to go ahead and talk about the knife's maintenance. Now, chefs have a love-hate relationship with these blades. I am a very big fan of them. Their blade stays sharp for a good amount of time, and when it starts to dull, it's a couple passes on a 10,000 grit water stone, and they're back right like that. If you've got nicks in the blade, maybe you want to hit it with a 2,000 or 3,000 grit stone, but 8 or 10,000 grit, back and forth a couple of times, get a mirror finish, it's perfect. But there is some maintenance involved in these. Once you open the box, the first thing you want to go ahead and do is wash it, and that's exactly what I did. I washed it soap and water, and I immediately dried it down. These things will rust. It's a carbon steel blade, carbon mixes with the iron, and oxide forms. I think it's F3+, and you will go ahead and get a thin finish of rust colored on here. So what a lot of people like to go ahead and do when they get these knives is they immediately grab something like a tomato, or they grab some vinegar, or they grab coffee grounds, something with a pH lower than 5.5, and they immediately cut or soak the blade in it for a few seconds so that they get to form something called a patina. As soon as that is done, they then go ahead and they wash the blade off and they give it a good dry, and then they grab something like this. Okay, and I realize this may be a little bit hard to see, but that says food grade mineral oil, and I like the stuff that has vitamin E in it. Vitamin E's job is to prevent oxidation so that you don't have smelly oil. We don't want smelly oil. In fact, this is the same kind of stuff I use to go ahead and build this cutting board. This is oak, canary, padauk, canary, oak. Or sorry, not, this is, my apologies, this is maple, canary, padauk, canary, maple. And I want to use the same oil here that I use on here, again, specifically because of a lot of that vitamin E oil. Now, you can go to Walmart, you can buy a gallon or a half gallon of your Equate mineral oil, and you can use that forever. I know a lot of people that do, but it doesn't always have the vitamin E in it. And when I buy that much mineral oil, I know I'm not going to use it all that quick. I also don't want my cutting boards to start smelling like rancid oil. Trust me, it's not a good fit. So what we do is we take our oil, we rub a little bit on here, we let it sit for a moment, we then take it off with a paper towel, and that's it. And because I love this shine, it's the first thing I'm gonna go ahead and do. So I'm gonna take a little bit of mineral oil, see how sharp that blade is? I'm gonna rub it on here all the way around. Now, the good thing about this blade is the whole thing is not carbon steel. In fact, really the only thing that's actually carbon steel is the last, I don't know, a couple of millimeters here on the edge. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can see it's probably closer to 1/4 of an inch of maybe a little less than that of carbon steel on here. So I go ahead and I wipe the oil on the blade. And I already washed this blade. I washed it when I was done cutting it, so I shouldn't have any issues. And if you look at it, it's putting like this film of protectant on there. You then want to go ahead and wipe it off, almost polish it off, if you will. And you look at the oil, look at the yellow. See the yellow on there? That is the bits of stuff that's on this blade that's already starting to patina just from the pH of my water. Just from the items that I cut with regard to that carrot. See all that carotene that's on there from the carrots trying to do their thing. So we want to wipe it off nice and good. Look, it still wants to cut my paper towel in half. Isn't that great? But that's what we do. We wipe it off. Now we're set and ready to go. Now you're probably thinking, hey, this is kind of annoying. Why do I want to go ahead and do this? Well, the rule of thumb with carbon steel knives is this. If you want to buy one carbon steel knife, go ahead and do the patina pretty immediately. Go ahead and hit it with the oil. And then every time that you do a really big chopping with one of these guys, when you're done washing it, hit it with a little bit of oil, and it'll help prevent some of that air from getting into whatever acids are left in the pores of the blade and allowing that to go ahead and rust. And that's actually why we put this on here. It's no more than just trying to prevent the air from touching the blade and the little pits that are on there, so that that air can go ahead and allow for rust to occur. We definitely don't want that to go ahead and happen. So I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to continue to use this knife. I'm going to enjoy it for a very long time. I like to buy things that last, almost a lifetime. And I have many knives that are 15, 20 years old that I still use a lot. So this is just another one I'm going to be enjoyful about adding to my collection. Anyways, if you like this video, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Comment below for anything else you'd like to see coming forward. And thank you again, as always, for watching. Have a great day.